Okay, starting our preparation for Broncos game. This is a very, very good team. Very impressed with their tape. I think they're very talented, very well coached on all three sides of the ball. So we have to have a great week of preparation to go out there Monday night and play well. It's going to be a great environment, night game, but also just they do a great job with their crowd. So it's something that our offense in particular has to do a good job with. But great challenge for us, and we'll start our preparation this week. Any questions you got?
And how does we talked a little bit about Bo on Monday, but in Sean's offense specifically, how does that scheme fit what Bo does best?
I think they're playing very, very efficiently. He's making great decisions with the ball, not turning it over. He's taking shots to Cortland Sutton, which is a very difficult cover for anybody. They're running the ball. They have multiple guys that can get the ball to, and then he's a very good scrambler. He's outstanding off schedule. So just what they're doing is very efficient.
You say are like characteristics of a Sean Payton offense from time in New Orleans to the time here?
Multiple personnel groupings. That's one thing that coach does a great job of. And then they do a really nice job schematically, both in the run and the pass. There's reason behind everything what they're doing and trying to get a guy open in the pass game or scheme up a run in the run game.
I was looking at those shoes out there, Keeper's Foundation. Can you tell us what that's about?
Sure. Yeah, I know it's my cause, my cleats this game, so very fortunate to be able to support the Keeper's Foundation, which is my family's foundation that's looking after disadvantaged youth in our cities. But I think it's a great opportunity for all of us, players and coaches, to highlight groups, highlight some charities that need our support. I think it's a great thing that the NFL does.
Miles just won AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Can you just address how good that is for him?
Yeah, it's great. You know, we talk so much, Mary Kay, about individual accolades are tremendous. We want our guys to be recognized. The nice part is it also reflects well on your teammates. So happy for Miles, and also recognize that it takes everybody to achieve those. But what Miles is doing, play in and play out, game in and game out, with the amount of attention that he gets playing and play out is pretty impressive.
In Denver, Miles had struggled to get to Russell. What did Denver do? What can you say that Denver did to keep to kind of keep Miles away from Russ there?
I think that's, you always go into the games understanding that they'll have a plan for Miles. It could be sliding away from him. It could be running away from him. It can be making sure there's always a tight end next to him to chip. It can also be calling plays where the ball comes out of the quarterback's hands extra fast. So those are the type of things that you go into it expecting them to do.
Do you feel like he's making another strong case for NFL Defensive Player of the Year?
I mean, if you're asking me, yes, I don't have a vote, but I think, and I made this point the other day, what he's able to accomplish with the amount of attention that he gets is truly impressive. It's like a degree of difficulty type thing. So for him to produce when they're trying everything in their power to make sure he doesn't wreck the game is again, running out of superlatives.
We talked about Jeudy, and you mentioned just the versatility, that he's able to take a short pass and deep ball. How important is that from your perspective, the ability to do all those different things?
Well, makes it much harder on the defensive backs. You know, you go into a matchup with a receiver as a DB, you're thinking about the routes that he can run, and if it's a limited route tree, it makes it easier to defend. When it's an expanded route tree like Jerry, it makes it more difficult because, you know, I think his first catch of the night last week was on a slant route, and it went for, 20 yards, whatever it was, and then making plays down the field as well. I think that just makes life more difficult for the DBs because they have to cover the entire field.
You mentioned his ability in the scramble drill, too. He's been so good at that. And I know you guys work that, but how much of that is just instincts?
We do work it, Dan, but it is quite a bit of instincts. It becomes pickup basketball, becomes fast break basketball where there are rules, but you also play with a feel. And I think that's important for the quarterback, and it's also important for all the guys that are filling the wing looking for a layup to work with the quarterback.
Secondary in Denver is playing really well. They've got the whole Russian coverage thing working together. Can you just talk about that?
Really, really impressive defense. I think Vance Joseph's doing an outstanding job with them. You look over there, they've good players at every level. Obviously, Surtain's a very, very good corner. We played him last year, know how talented he is, but they have a bunch of guys in that back end that can produce, that can tackle, that can make plays on the ball. They're sound. They can pressure you. They can play coverage. I think they have 14 players with at least a half a sack. They're leading the league in sacks. So, like you mentioned, rush and coverage go together, and they're doing a very, very good job.
You have that many guys that do have sacks. How much more complicated does it make it in terms of setting protection and stuff? Because, you know, when you have a guy like Miles, you know, tension's there, but
it's a challenge. And it's DBs can blitz, linebackers can blitz. The guys up front obviously can win one-on-one matchups, but they have a very, very deep group.
Their receiving core, what stands out, and also Mims, just the ability, it feels like they're using him in a bunch of different ways.
What stands out with their receivers is size. They have really big, physical wide receivers. And then you mentioned Mims. They can use him in a variety of ways. He can be in the backfield. He can be out wide. He's an outstanding returner. Our guys are very well aware of his talent. And then on offense, just they can utilize his speed in a bunch of different ways.
Do you have any more clarity on if Jed might be able to practice or play this week?
Still working through it.
Short week, do you guys kind of value that big break in between Thursday night and Monday Night Football?
I know the players enjoy the weekend off, and then just with this week, Monday Night Football, just want to be smart about how we prepare, how we get the guys ready to go, and obviously get ready to get on an airplane on Saturday.
You mentioned Surtain. What makes him one of the best guys in the league?
Size, strength, speed, quickness, athleticism, ball skills. He's the prototype. He's outstanding.
Did he go cover one of your guys last year? Like, was he on somebody all game? And do you have an expectation what he'll do this week?
He does typically follow the top guy. We'll see. You go into these games, you really have to wait till you get there to see.
Past, Jeudy wasn't necessarily known for winning the contested catch, but have you seen him get better at that even this year?
I think Jerry's done a nice job. Mary Kay, I think back to the Thursday night game, winning at the top of the route on a deeper throw. Yeah, I think that's something that he works on his craft. So when the ball is in the air, he's determined to come down with it. Good. Okay. Yep. Of course.
Is that still in the protocol?
He's still in the protocol, getting better. But all right, I'm not going to see you guys tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. Even pass that along to Tony for me.